Let's move to 8:20 p.m. Eastern. Green Bay Packers 3-4, 1-2 on the road at the Buffalo Bills 5-1, 2-0 at home. Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. 55 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 8 miles per hour. This is our Sunday nighter. I'll be right here. It's is it November 1st? I'm trying to slow down my liquor intake until the end of the month. No, it won't be. But still, it's time for a fresh giant bottle of Kraken. Let's open up the line history here in Packers Bills. We'll be right here. And who would have thought that we'd be sitting here on the Sunday nighter and the Packers would be double-digit dogs? They opened up at Pinnacle minus 10.5 at even money, or plus 101, I should say. It's now minus 113 or minus 112. So there has been a 13-cent move towards them at this number. From a total perspective, opened up at 47.5, slightly juiced to the over. It's now slightly juiced to the under. The poker contest starts at 9, Sky Dragon, and that is one of the things that I would like to change for our next one. I think I'd like to make it an hour earlier just because we all have so much work to do, for Thursday's giant card. So that would be something I'd like. But we'll get into that here tomorrow more. But again, the big poker tournament is Wednesday night. Bet online, and the code is PubSportsOct for October, OCT. All right, Packers, take a look at the cash flow in this one. 8,788 tickets in, 47% of tickets, 80% of cash on the Packers. 57% of tickets on the under. They haven't given us a cash flow on that total. We've seen it move 4 cents to the under, not much. Packers coming off their third straight loss, 23-21 at Washington, 232 yards of offense, 0 for 6 on third down. The Packers had no third down conversions for the first time since 1999. Rodgers, 23 of 35 for 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Alan Lazard went down with an injury. So that's the third wideout the Packers have on the shelf. He was leading the team in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. Left in the second half after taking a hit at the end of the first down catch, didn't return. The Packers won't officially practice until tomorrow. So that's when the first injury report of the week will come out. But the offense is very thin at receiver. So we have Lazard with the injury, Randall Cobb on IR with the ankle injury. Christian Watson's missed 2 straight games with a hamstring injury. So with Lazard at this point, his arm is in a sling, but he is not being ruled out. The running game got completely shut down. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon combined for 12 carries for 38 yards. Aaron Jones did catch 9 passes for 53 yards and touchdown, or 2 touchdowns. I don't have that in front of me. Sammy Watkins had 2 catches for 36 yards. And now this 4th-round pick out of Nevada, Romeo Doubs, he's got to step up. 0 catches on 4 targets. Watkins and Doubs need to step up in a huge way. We saw what this offensive line looked like without Bakhtiari. He was inactive, and that was a Saturday addition to the injury report. How bad is this Packers offense? Because I think a lot of us have a vividness bias of them being god awful, but they're not that bad. They're 17th in yards per play, and that's not so bad, is it? Their defense tried to keep them in the game. Devondre Campbell returned a pick, 63 yards for a touchdown. Pack got 1 sack, 6 quarterback hits, but Rashad Gary's in concussion protocol now. Over the last 4 games, Aaron Rodgers is throwing for 6.1 yards per attempt. That's 34th out of 40 qualified quarterbacks. So he's 34th out of 40 at 6.1. Josh Allen is second at 9 yards per attempt. Bills coming off their bye week. McDermott 5-0 post-bye games. All 5 of those games have come at home. They were last seen an impressive 24-20 win at Kansas City. It was made even more impressive after watching the Chiefs put up 529 yards of offense against 44 points against the Niners. Who can slow down this Bill squad? Look at these stats. I mean, no one can. They're number 1 in the NFL offensive yards per game, number 2 in points per game, and they're number 1 defensively for both yards per game and points per game. And what do? Gabriel Davis looks excellent alongside Stephon Diggs. They combined for 13 catches for 222 yards against the Chiefs. And Matt Milano is one of the best defensive players in the world. He does everything and is all over the field all the time. Take it away for us, Andy. It is the Sunday nighter. We'll be live betting right here on Pub Sports Radio, Packers, Bills.
Yeah, you wonder, and Birdie's pointing out, like, the Bills have hammered good teams. You wonder if this is like a statement game for Josh Allen. Guess what, old man? My neighborhood now, and just romps. I can see the bit. Like, if I'm betting this, I'm betting Bills minus 14. Bills minus 21. But I'm betting alt lines up to like 30 because why would they, if they don't let up, they're not going to let up. And the Packers are 1-3 in the last 4 games, with the quarterbacks they face being Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Zappy coming in during the game, and then Heineke's first start off of a long layoff since he's played. And now you step up to the odds-on MVP on the team with 6.5 yards per play right now. This offense absolutely humming, like you said, crushing good teams. They already beat the Chiefs in a really good game. Gosh, it was like, in what world can I even think about taking these points? So I am. Oh, we got the Torbert crew.
Yeah,
there's been some crew and the refs this year have driven me nuts. I won't get into that, but it's a lot of points to be laying. But yeah, I'm not betting this straight up. If I do, I'll play some props on Buffalo, their first half team total, for full game team total to win by 14, 21, some, Josh Allen goes and puts it on them kind of props. So nothing for me here. It seems like a massive mismatch with the Packers defense, giving up points to much worse offenses. And now the best offense in the league coming in rested at home against it. And Aaron's throwing players under the bus. He's not being a leader right now. He's saying there's players that shouldn't be playing as much. And it's kind of messy in Cheeseland right now. So no thanks. But yeah, this is Bills or nothing. And this could be, Bills by 40.
Packers team total at 16.5 with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. What do you think of that total at 47.5?
It's probably about right, because this could end up being just one of these blowouts where it ends up being 41-6, and we all laugh.
If
it's a decent defense too. I know they've taken some steps back, but the Packers offense isn't anything to write home about, and they're losing receivers. Dubs isn't doing shit. So yeah, this is probably a little high, honestly.
If the Packers want to be in this game, don't they have to score some points here?
Yeah, I mean, I would have suggested that the last couple of weeks too, but I mean, even last week, how many points did they get out of their offense? And like you said, one of those was a defensive score. It's not been a very effective offense here. So Allen has not played in 3 of 4th quarters this year. Yeah, they've been able to put in the backup a couple times. So maybe that's how this under gets home, is it's 35-3 heading into the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
And it ends up 38-6.
Well, what about this then? And I can understand Birdie's idea on the under 47.5, but what about the first half over 23.5? What about?
I could be talked into that. Again, I need some help from Green Bay in that case. I don't want to rely on Buffalo to have to put up 21 of those.
You'd need some help from Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay's offense has just felt so rough lately. So no thanks on this one. I'm probably all the primetime games are super tough for me to get involved with this week.
I like the first half over. I think that Rodgers will show. I think he'll show us something here. I've said that already this year, and it's blown up my face. So this could be another time where it does that. I'm not taking the Packers first half, but I just got this deja vu of before the London game, and I was like, now I did cash the Packers first half in that game.
Yeah, you did. They were good in the first half.
Birdie says Bills score on every first drive, Bills first quarter as well.
Oh, there you go. There's a good angle if you got to bet the game. But yeah, props for me probably once we get around to Sunday.
Yeah, and so okay, last question here before we move on to the Monday Nighter. What do you think of this Packers defense now that we're heading in? We've seen them play 7 times.
It's gotten a pretty hefty downgrade from where we had them, to start the season. I don't think it's a terribly good defense. And I mean, you just look at some of the individual player ratings right now, it's getting towards bottom half of the league, if not lower. They aren't doing, there's a couple of nice pass rush pieces, and I get that Rashawn Gary is good. The highlight of this defense is the pass rush. And I mean, Josh Allen, he's another one. He's almost like Rodgers when he was younger. Like, yeah, I remember watching Rodgers and seeing the pass rush get there, and if they didn't get home, it's like, fuck. Like, now, you brought a blitz and it didn't work. There's one less defender on there. Like, this is a touchdown. Josh Allen the same way, but he does it even better with his legs. Like, if this pass rush doesn't get home and they just flush him out and there's fewer defenders down the field, it's going to be big plays left and right. So the strength of this defense is probably going up against the strength in just Josh Allen's rush avoidance here. So it's an average to below average defense, and I think it's a poor matchup as well. Everyone's a poor matchup at the Bills. What am I saying here, guys?
That first quarter is at 9.5.
Yeah.
I think we could get scratcher. 10. Yeah, get that back scratched.
Oh.
All right, the final game here. I'm going to move on that first quarter and first half.
I like that first quarter of the stat there in the chat.
Yeah, I like it too, and I think that 10 points can be scored in that first quarter. I really do. So I like the first quarter over, first half over, and I will be moving on them.